Good evening, everybody. My name is Asia Richards, and tonight I will be discussing the need for an inventory management system application within Bloomingdales. To begin, I will be discussing the context of the company, the technology needed for the application, the competitive environment of the company, and the economics and organizational implementation that will be assessed when using the app. To begin, Bloomingdales was founded in 1872 by Joseph and Lyman Bloomingdale. Macy's Incorporated is the parent company of Bloomingdale's, and Bloomingdale's is headquartered in New York, New York. Currently, there's 37 stores and 16 outlets in the United States and 1 store in Dubai. Their biggest partnership is with weddingchannel.com, which is a wedding planning service website. The partnership simultaneously builds the customer base, as Bloomingdale's is giving their customers access to the wedding planning services website. In turn, the website is sending 1.5 million customers the ability to create their registry through Bloomingdale's. In 2015, I was a logistics processor within Bloomingdale's, which is where I discovered the need for the app. A logistics processor is someone who handles all merchandise that leaves and enters the store. This can require you to unload delivery trucks, fulfill web orders, as well as assist in markdowns. Two of Bloomingdale's biggest goals are to, 1, uphold the high standards of customer service, and 2, process 90% of all merchandise within the store. The proposal. Here are some problems that I have seen as working as a logistics processor. The first one, the way they track all inventory. They leave a paper trail. This makes it easy for all information to be lost. 2, 90% of all merchandise is not being processed fast enough because employees are unaware if the merchandise is actually in the store. And 3, the time it takes to unload a delivery truck, do a physical count, use a Top Gun, which is a tool used to scan the inventory into the computer system, and then receive a final count, is taken away from the items that need to be processed and sent out. So my solution, the creation of an app for all employees that can go from store to store, store to customer, and store to vendor. The technology. Here are some things you need to think about before creating an application. Step 1, do you want a desktop or you want a mobile app? In this case, a mobile will be better for the store because all employees do need access to the inventory system. 2, building in-house or outsourcing. With building in-house, you are saving money, you have developers more aware of the vision, but you may not have the resources really needed to build the app. With outsourcing, you know you have the resources and capabilities needed to build the app, but they are not really sure of your vision, so they will go with what's necessary for them to get the app finished. 3, the platform. A native platform, you might need to build the app more than once to run on multiple operating systems, whether it be an Android or an iPhone. With a web app, you use HTML5 or JavaScript, and it's inexpensive and quicker to build, and you only need to build the app once because it can run across multiple mobile platforms. And the last one, the hybrid. Hybrid builds the best of both worlds. Next is discuss the need for a back-end server. A back-end server is made of a server, a database, and an application. Here's where all information is stored. Not every app needs a back-end server, but because an inventory management system has so much information, you will need a back-end server. Now it's time to actually create the app. Step 1, have an idea and identify the need for it. Step 2, generate a layout flow of features that you want in an app. So here is where you sit and you write in detail every feature you would want in the app and which way it will work. Step 3, remove all non-core features. All non-core features are the features that you would think would be nice to have, but really assisting the value of the app idea. Step 4, the design of the app. No matter what the purpose of the app is, you want a design that is appealing, a design that makes the employees want to learn how to use the app. And step 5, make the app, which takes on average 3 to 6 months to build a normal app. And here are some functions of Bloomingdale's app. 1, it can show you the quantity of online orders and what each order entails. It allows the employees to directly order items for the customer, run daily, weekly, and monthly inventory statistics to show you how much of each merchandise from each vendor is being sold, so you know how much to order for the next week, as well as scanning the universal product code. The universal product code can show you the name, the vendor, the quantity of the product, the location of the product, and if the product is needed for transfers, direct to consumers, and return to vendor items. The competitive environment. Bloomingdale's is a luxury department store in a monopolistic competitive environment. Some of the competitors are Neiman Marcus, Barney's, Lord & Taylor, and Saks Off Fifth. The target customer base, it appeals to all ages. With this app, it can process items faster, which in turn you are sending items faster to the consumer. The faster the consumer gets the item, the happier they become, which means in turn they want to order more items. Also, it decreases the waiting time of finding an item. For example, think about when you go to a store and you want to know if a certain shoe is in the store, for your certain shoe size is in the store. Many times customers are sitting there waiting for hours for the person to go back into the back of the store to look for the size, to find the size. This app decreases all of that. All you have to do is scan the UPC of the shoe, and immediately that's in the step of 3 seconds, you have if the shoe's in the store, where you can find the shoe, and if not, which other stores in the area, Bloomingdale stores in the area, have the shoe for you. And with the partnership is also would be affected by this app as well. It can guide employees to discuss the wedding industry, make it easier for the employees to see what the couples need, as well as having the inventory of the website directly linked to the store's inventory, meaning they're selling more from the store, which means they're increasing the revenue of both the website and Bloomingdale's. The economics. Expenses are very, very important when it comes to building an application. Here are some factors that you want to consider. Step 1, the structures, intricacies, and the platform of it. If you have a more advanced features, it's going to cost you more. Second, the back-end server. A back-end server, which holds all the information, you are paying for the capacity of the information. So if you have a back-end server, it will increase your cost. Third, in-house and outsourcing. As stated in previous slides, in-house is cheaper, outsourcing is way more expensive. And last, the amount of developers needed to build the app. If you have a small group of people, it will take longer for the app to be built versus having 10 to 15 people building an app at once. So the total cost that I came up with was approximately $250,000 to $300,000 to create this inventory management app. Here is a part of the annual report, the inflows, and this is the cash flow statement, the income statement, the cash flow of the company. As you can see, Bloomingdale's has lost about $1 million worth of operation activities because they cannot process inventory management fast enough. They are doing more investing and financing. And with this app, it can minimize the investing and financing activities they're using to company and increase the operation activities, which we are making more money. We are bringing more money in and letting less money go out. Last is the organizational implementation. Here are some success factors that I have created. One, the inventory turnover ratio. The inventory turnover ratio measures how long it takes for the inventory to be empty. Another success factor is the simplicity of the app. Is it easy for the customers to assess? Is it easy for the employees to talk about, use? The customer service. As I said, customer service is a great factor. It's an important attribute within the company. If this is not increasing, then what is the point of the app? And last, the time, efficiency, and accuracy. Is the app being updated efficiently with information, and is it accurate? Risk. Here are some risks that I've come up with when discussing the need for the app. One, creating an app and the problems are not alleviated. One, the way to fix this is monitoring the quantity and performance factors of the app. Two, the complexity of the app. If it's too complex, then we need to go back to the drawing board and make sure all things are removed to ensure all features are working smoothly. Last is if competitors decide to build the app with same features, then it's time to go public and make sure the app can be used by both employees and the public. In conclusion, after assessing all of these factors,